Why does my son guard you as if he fears me?
Because he remembers who stayed when truth vanished.
Tell me this transfer is all a lie.
You judged me before asking. That is the real betrayal.
Give me that crane. It belongs with the evidence.
Then why are your hands shaking when nobody accused you?
At 10:17 on a bright Monday morning, Korean billionaire Park Min-jae entered a private hospital room and stopped cold. His 8-year-old son, Noah, sat beside the woman Min-jae had divorced 12 weeks earlier. One small hand held hers. The other crushed a red paper crane with one black wing. "Noah, the car is waiting," Min-jae said. The boy did not move. "I'm not leaving until Leah wakes up. She still has to tell you the truth." Leah Hayes Park lay pale beneath a white blanket, a clean monitor beside her. Even unconscious, she wore no wedding ring. Min-jae had taken that promise from her in front of 300 people. Now his son guarded her as if the whole world had become the enemy. Then Noah looked at the red crane and whispered, "She never stole from me." Min-jae's chest tightened. Only 4 people knew what Leah had been accused of stealing, so who had told the child? And why was Noah protecting that strange paper bird? Before we uncover what the red crane was hiding, subscribe to Empire City Romance Stories. Like this video and comment where you're watching from. Stay close, because the first lie is about to break. 12 weeks earlier, crystal lights had glittered above Park Meridian Foundation's annual gala in downtown Chicago. Leah stood beside Min-jae in an ivory dress while cameras celebrated their 3rd wedding anniversary. She had helped build the foundation's free heart screening program. She had also helped Noah speak again after grief made him silent. Then Sora, Min-jae's cousin and chief legal officer, walked onto the stage with a black folder. $5 million disappeared from Noah's trust. The transfer used Leah's password and keycard. Screens behind them displayed bank records, private emails, and security logs. Reporters turned toward Leah. Min-jae did not ask whether the evidence was real. He removed a sealed envelope from his jacket and placed it in her hand. Divorce papers. "Tell me this is wrong," he said, but his voice already sounded like a verdict. Leah searched the face of the man she loved. "You chose the lie before asking me one honest question." Near the stage, Noah clutched the red paper crane she had made for him. Its left wing was marked black from his favorite pencil. Sora reached for the boy, but he stepped behind Leah. Min-jae saw only hesitation and assumed it was guilt. Leah saw that trust had already left the room. She signed nothing. She walked through the cameras alone, carrying the divorce papers like a wound she refused to display. Leah had met Min-jae 4 years earlier while auditing the foundation's medical grants. She was a gifted forensic accountant from Atlanta, calm enough to hear what numbers were trying to hide. Min-jae admired that courage until her questions reached his own family office. Noah admired something simpler. Leah never forced him to speak about his mother's death. She sat beside him and folded paper animals until silence felt safe. Their rule was stay until morning. It meant fear was temporary, but love did not run when darkness came. Sora watched that bond grow. She had managed Park family money for 14 years and expected to control Noah's trust if Min-jae ever remarried badly. Leah's audit threatened that future. Vendor payments did not match clinic receipts. Millions were moving through a company that existed only on paper. 3 days before the gala, Leah reported the pattern to a federal financial investigator. A judge placed the case under seal and ordered the suspicious money moved into protected escrow. Leah could not reveal the investigation without destroying it. Sora used that silence perfectly. She cropped the escrow order, forged 2 emails, and made a lawful transfer look like theft. Leah believed Min-jae would know her character better than a screen. He did not. If you believe love must ask before it accuses, subscribe now and keep watching. Like the story and tell us your city, because the document Min-jae missed changes everything, but it is not the biggest secret. After the divorce, Min-jae won temporary control of every shared account. Leah refused his settlement and moved into a small apartment near Lake Michigan. She kept working with investigators, even when stress worsened a heart rhythm condition she had hidden because she did not want Noah frightened. Noah stopped folding cranes. He stopped eating breakfast with his father. Every Sunday, he asked one question: "Did you ask Leah what happened?" Min-jae always answered. The proof was clear. But the proof began to crack. One forged email used an American date format Leah never used in financial reports. A clinic director denied receiving money listed under her signature. Min-jae confronted Sora, and she calmly blamed Leah for planting confusion. Then a court notice arrived. Leah would testify at an emergency board hearing. If she spoke, the sealed investigation would become public. At the hearing, Leah entered in a camel coat, placed the complete escrow order before the board, and said, "I did not take Noah's money. I stopped someone else from taking it." The arena erupted. Min-jae stared at the judge's signature and realized the transfer date matched the night he had called her a thief. Before Leah could name the shell company's controller, her hand tightened around the table. The room tilted. She whispered Noah's name and collapsed from the untreated rhythm episode. There was no attack, only a body that had carried too much for too long. At the hospital, the sealed investigator's letter reached Min-jae. It confirmed Leah was the protected whistleblower. The $5 million had never left Noah's ownership. Every cent was safe. That was the major truth. Leah had protected his son while Min-jae publicly destroyed her. When Leah opened her eyes, Min-jae stood at the foot of her bed. "Why didn't you tell me about the order?" Her voice was weak, but her boundary was not. "I tried. You brought cameras and lawyers. You wanted a confession, not an answer. I can fix this. You can correct the lie. You cannot order me to trust you again." Noah squeezed her hand. Min-jae lowered his eyes because even his child understood what he had failed to learn. The next morning, Sora arrived with white flowers and a careful smile. She said the board needed Leah's laptop for evidence protection. Leah refused. Then Sora noticed the red paper crane on Noah's chair. For 1 second, her smile disappeared. "That old thing should be thrown away," she said. Noah pulled it against his chest. "It's mine." Min-jae watched his cousin's fingers tremble. Sora had ignored Leah's medical condition, the court order, and the missing money, yet a child's paper bird frightened her. This is where the hidden proof changes every relationship. Subscribe, like, and comment where you're watching from. But do not leave, because Noah's next words expose the person Min-jae trusted most. Min-jae asked Sora to step outside. She refused, saying Noah was confused. The boy stood beside Leah's trusted nurse, completely safe, and looked at his father. "At the gala, I went to your study to find Leah. Sora was taking a tiny card from the camera desk. She dropped it when someone opened the door. I hid it because she looked scared." "Where is it?" Min-jae asked. Noah unfolded the red paper crane. From inside the black marked wing, a memory card fell into Leah's palm. The crane had appeared at the accusation. It had stayed beside the hospital bed. Now it carried the one record Sora could not rewrite. Min-jae's security team copied the card without altering it. The final hours of footage showed Sora entering Min-jae's study, placing Leah's stolen keycard beside the terminal, and changing the camera clock. Her phone call was even clearer. Once the divorce is filed, Leah loses trustee status. Then Noah's fund answers to my office. The nuclear truth was not merely that Sora framed Leah. She had designed the divorce to seize control of a trust worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Sora's face hardened. I protected this family before she arrived. You would have handed everything to an outsider. Leah sat upright. I was never trying to own your family. I was trying to stop you from selling a child's future. Min-jae called independent counsel and the authorities. He did not shout. He simply moved between Sora and the hospital bed and said, "You will not use my silence again." Sora was removed from the company and later charged with fraud, obstruction, and attempted trust theft. The board recovered the remaining diverted funds, but Leah refused to let Min-jae turn justice into another private arrangement.